Have you ever opened your eyes at 3 a.m., stared at the ceiling, and wondered, why am I awake right now? No loud noise, no bad dream, no obvious reason, just awake while the rest of the world is still fast asleep. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. Many people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s experience this night after night. So what's really going on inside our bodies? And more importantly, is there a way to get back to deeper sleep and wake up feeling more refreshed? In today's episode, we're diving into the mystery of those middle-of-the-night wake-ups. From the natural changes in our bodies to simple tips that can help you sleep better. Everything we share is meant to help you understand what's happening and find more peace in your nighttime routine. Ready to find out? Let's get into it. Let's start with one of the biggest players in your sleep story, melatonin. Now, you may have heard of melatonin before. It's that little hormone our bodies produce to help us fall asleep. Think of it like your internal sleep signal. As the sun goes down and the lights dim, your body gets a message. It's bedtime. Melatonin kicks in and you start to feel drowsy. But here's the catch. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less melatonin. And this change doesn't happen all at once. It's gradual. So subtle that many people don't even notice until their sleep starts to feel different. You might still fall asleep at night just fine, especially if you've had a full day. But then, somewhere around 3 a.m., your eyes pop open. No noise, no real reason, just wide awake. That's often your melatonin levels dropping off earlier than they used to. It's not your fault. It's not bad sleep hygiene. It's just part of aging. Now, the good news is you're not helpless in this. There are some simple things you can do to help your body make the most of the melatonin it still produces. First, keep your bedroom as dark as possible at night. Melatonin is super sensitive to light, even small amounts. That glowing digital clock or the night light in the hallway, it could be enough to throw your body off track. Second, try to limit screen time about an hour before bed. I know. It's tempting to check one more news story or scroll through a few family photos. But those screens emit blue light, which tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. That means your body holds back on releasing melatonin, and your sleep gets lighter, more fragmented. And here's a tip many people find surprisingly helpful. Take a short walk outside in the late afternoon or early evening. Natural light, especially in the late part of the day, can actually help reset your body's internal clock and support melatonin production later that night. Even 15 to 20 minutes of gentle walking, maybe with a neighbor or while listening to music, can make a difference. Some folks also find relief with low-dose melatonin supplements, but if you're thinking about trying that, be sure to check with your doctor first, especially if you're taking other medications. So yes, melatonin changes with age, but with a few mindful habits, you can support your body's natural rhythms and improve your chances of sleeping through the night. Now let's talk about something that affects every single one of us, whether we realize it or not. It's called your circadian rhythm. Sounds fancy, right? But really, it's just your body's internal clock. It tells you when to feel sleepy, when to feel awake, and when it's time to eat or rest. Back in your younger years, this clock probably ran like a finely tuned machine. You'd feel sleepy at night, wake up in the morning, and go about your day. But as we age, our circadian rhythm starts to shift, and not always in ways we expect. You might find yourself getting sleepy much earlier in the evening, maybe right after dinner. And by 3 or 4 in the morning, you're suddenly wide awake, while the rest of the house is still fast asleep. Sound familiar? Here's what's happening. As your body ages, your internal clock tends to move forward. That means your body might start releasing sleep hormones earlier in the evening and stop producing them earlier in the morning. The result? You fall asleep earlier and wake up earlier, too, even if you don't want to. Now, this change doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. In fact, it's perfectly normal. But that doesn't make it any less frustrating, especially when you're up before the sun and just try and get a full night's rest. So what can you do? One approach is to gently shift your evening routine to match your body's new rhythm, but not give in too early. Try stretching your evening just a little longer. You could read a book, watch a lighthearted movie, or even call a loved one for a quick chat. A warm cup of caffeine-free herbal tea can also be a comforting way to wind down without putting you straight to bed at 7 p.m. The key is not to fight your body, but to work with it. Give yourself permission to adjust. Maybe bedtime moves to 9 p.m. instead of 11 p.m., and maybe mornings start a bit earlier, too. That's okay. The goal isn't to force yourself into your old schedule. It's to find a new rhythm that still gives you rest, energy, and peace of mind. And if you do wake up at 3 a.m., instead of stressing or tossing and turning, try to use that time gently. Maybe a quiet meditation, some deep breathing, or even writing a journal can help settle your mind and bring you back to sleep, or at the very least, into a restful state. So yes, your circadian rhythm is changing, but with a little patience and a few small shifts, you can still get the sleep your body needs. All right, let's shift gears a little. So far, we've talked about hormones and internal clocks. But sometimes it's not about chemistry or timing. It's your body itself that's waking you up. Here's the truth. As we age, our bodies go through changes that can make uninterrupted sleep more difficult. It's not something we like to talk about all the time, but it's real and more common than you might think. Let's start with something many people deal with. Aches and pains. After a lifetime of movement, working, parenting, exercising, just living, it's no surprise our joints get a little creaky. Arthritis, back pain, old injuries, they can all make it harder to stay asleep. You might go to bed feeling okay, but a few hours later, you wake up stiff or sore. Then there's the midnight bathroom run, or 2 or 3. The bladder tends to become more active at night as we get older, and certain medications or health conditions can add to that. You wake up, make the trip to the bathroom, and by the time you crawl back into bed, your mind is already switched back on. And for some folks, there are other health-related interruptions, like acid reflux, restless legs, or even something as simple as being too warm or too cold. The body becomes more sensitive with age, and even minor discomforts can be enough to pull you out of deep sleep. So, what can we do about it? First and foremost, listen to your body. If you're dealing with regular pain or discomfort, don't brush it off as just part of getting old. Talk to your doctor. There may be better treatments, lifestyle adjustments, or even small changes in medication that can ease those nighttime interruptions. Second, take a look at your sleep environment. Is your mattress supportive enough? Is your bedroom too hot, too cold, or too noisy? You'd be surprised how much these little things can matter. A well-cushioned mattress topper, blackout curtains, or even a white noise machine can go a long way in creating a space your body actually wants to rest in. Also, think about your evening habits. Are you eating too close to bedtime? Spicy or acidic foods can trigger reflux and cause sleep disruption. Are you taking medications that might be affecting your sleep? A quick conversation with your doctor or pharmacist could help you adjust the timing. And don't forget, gentle movement during the day, like stretching, walking, or light yoga, can help reduce stiffness at night. It keeps the body loose, improves circulation, and helps you feel more comfortable when it's finally time to rest. Aging may bring new physical challenges, yes, but it doesn't mean we have to give up on restful, nourishing sleep. With some care, attention, and a bit of patience, you can work with your body, not against it, to find comfort at night. Let's take a moment to think about your daily rhythm, how your day flows from morning to night. As we grow older, many of us find ourselves stepping into a slower pace of life. Maybe you've retired. Maybe the kids are grown. There are fewer early morning alarms, fewer packed schedules, and often a whole lot more quiet time. Now, don't get me wrong. Quiet can be a beautiful thing, but it can also shift our daily routines in ways we don't always notice. Maybe dinner gets served a little earlier. Maybe you're not moving around quite as much during the day. Or maybe evenings are so peaceful that you drift off to sleep without even meaning to. And then what happens? You wake up at 3 a.m., wide awake, wondering why your body clock seems out of sync. Well, here's something to consider. Our daytime habits have a direct impact on our nighttime sleep. If you're less active during the day or go to bed too early, your body might be ready to wake up long before morning comes. But the good news is this is something you can gently shift. Start by adding a bit more structure to your day, especially in the afternoon and early evening. A short walk after dinner, some light chores, or even doing a puzzle or chatting with a neighbor can help keep your body and brain gently engaged. This kind of natural movement and stimulation builds sleep pressure, the feeling of tiredness your brain needs to stay asleep through the night. Also, think about your bedtime routine. Are you heading to bed simply because you feel a little bored or because the house is quiet? Try to delay your bedtime just a bit. 15 or 30 minutes can make a big difference. You can use that time to read something uplifting, watch a calming show, or even listen to soft music. And don't underestimate the power of light. Natural sunlight in the morning, yes, even just sitting by a sunny window with your coffee, can help reinforce your internal clock. It sends a clear message to your brain. This is morning. Then, by the time evening rolls around, your body will be more naturally aligned with sleep. In short, your lifestyle shapes your sleep more than you might think. And while it's normal for routines to change with age, that doesn't mean we're stuck with 3 a.m. wake-ups forever. With just a few mindful adjustments, keeping active, staying socially connected, and stretching the evening a little longer, you can gently guide your sleep cycle back into balance. So far, we've talked about the body, hormones, rhythms, routines. But now, let's look at something a bit less visible, yet just as powerful, your emotions. Because here's the thing, sometimes what wakes us up at 3 a.m. isn't physical at all. It's the mind, the memories, the thoughts that visit when everything else is quiet. You know the feeling. The house is still, the world is dark, and suddenly your mind begins to wander. You start thinking about something you said 20 years ago, or someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe a mistake you wish you could take back, or a question about what lies ahead. It's like your brain decides, now's a good time to dig deep. And before you know it, sleep is gone, and all that's left is you, the ceiling, and a head full of thoughts. Now, let me tell you something important. This is normal. As we grow older, we naturally have more space to reflect. Life slows down. There's more time to think, to process, to remember, and sometimes that reflection shows up at the most inconvenient hour. But here's a gentle reframe. Those early morning wake-ups don't have to be a battle. What if, instead of fighting them, we use them softly? If you find yourself awake in the middle of the night with a busy mind, try keeping a journal by your bedside. You don't have to write a novel. Just jot down a few thoughts. What's on your mind? What's bothering you? What are you grateful for in that moment? This simple act can help release tension and quiet the mind. It's like telling your brain, I hear you. Let's come back to this tomorrow. Some people also find peace in guided meditations, breathing exercises, or even just sitting quietly and listening to the soft hum of the world around them. These gentle practices can ease your thoughts and sometimes even guide you back to sleep naturally. And if not, that's okay too. There's beauty in simply resting. Even if sleep doesn't come right away, your body is still healing. Your mind is still restoring. Not every quiet moment needs to be filled. So be kind to yourself in those 3 a.m. hours. Your life has been full and rich, and your mind, well, it's just trying to make sense of it all. That's not weakness. That's being human. So let's take a moment to reflect. If you've been waking up at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering what's wrong, you're not alone. And more importantly, nothing is wrong. What you're experiencing is a part of life, a part of growing older, a part of having a body, a mind, and a heart that have carried you through decades of living. From changes in melatonin and circadian rhythms, to physical discomfort, shifting routines, and those deep, quiet emotions, each piece tells a story. And understanding that story gives you the power to respond with care, not frustration. Maybe it means going for a short walk in the evening. Maybe it's adjusting your bedtime little by little. Maybe it's journaling your thoughts when they rise in the stillness of the night. Whatever small steps you take, know this. You deserve restful sleep. You deserve peace at night. And most of all, you deserve to be gentle with yourself. Aging is not a problem to solve. It's a chapter to be lived with grace. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope something in this episode gave you comfort, insight, or even just a feeling that you're not going through this alone. Because you're not. If you found this helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe, share with a friend, or leave a comment. And of course, stay tuned for more conversations like this, made with heart, just for you. Until next time, take care of yourself and sleep well.